beautiful day in the neighborhood. I don't hear me, Mike. Mark,
Oh,
I called you Mike. I don't hear myself. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Would you? I'm gone. I'm not in.
You don't hear yourself anymore?
Would you be? I did, and then you
Oh,
did
you did?
something,
Oh, okay.
and you took me out. There we go.
All right.
All right. You gonna leave those toys alone now?
Yes.
Am I live on Facebook?
I'm checking right now.
All right. Hi, everybody. It's good to be in the land of the living. As you know, I'm always doing, nope, we're not live yet. Always doing multiple things. Just came from a press conference in which it was announced that, I'm bending over. As you know, our equipment was out. We were out on remote last week, so we're trying to get everything together. Just came from a press conference where it was announced an amnesty program for your water bill and sewer bill. If you remember, that's my phone. It's going to the live from last week.
Oh. Hold on. I'm still working.
Still working on getting us live?
I don't know why. Everything was set up last night.
Well, it's not set up today, Mark.
Well, it was set up last night.
I think I'll just call you. I'm just still a little foggy on how that's going to work. But basically, he's saying, and this is what the mayor announced today, that no more water will be shut off in the city of Buffalo. That water is a necessity for life. And so under his administration, no more water. All right, Mark says we're live now. No, come on. Have you met my wife?
I have not.
Doctor?
Hi. Pleasure to meet you.
We just doing all kinds of stuff in here. So let me see if I can find my live real quick because Mark claims it's on. So that's where we're just leaving. So we had to rush in here and then get ourselves together. We're going to be talking about a few things today. Of course, I did not get a chance last week to talk about the race. It's very important. It is a radio show. So I do have to talk about the race. It's an important topic. Have you guys ever heard of this guy named Kevin Samuels? Now, I told my wife I was going to talk about it. I said, you want to come down and talk about it? And she said, well, you know, I'm not a fan of his. And I said, that's why I want you to talk about it. Now, we had to find some clips, but I didn't realize how much cursing he does.
My God.
It's a lot, huh?
My God, today. That was my homework assignment.
Those of you on Facebook Live, share this, get the audience with me for we can talk, and those of you on radio. Last week was tremendous. Let me start there with the Black Music Awards. Thank you to the station. It was wonderful. There was a beautiful singer there. I mean, she was, I took her home. I took her home.
Bless him.
Because chair is not a, no, a house
House is not a home. I said a chair.
When the two, what did I say the other week about Prince? And I said when, what did I say when
doves fly? Said fly. And then said I was going to preach it.
Oh, that was at a funeral. I said that the other day.
You'd have made it work, but
because the guy like the woman like Prince, and I said, y'all don't know nothing about when doves.
That was in his master collection that we didn't know about.
I said, I'm glad I didn't change the eulogy to that. So anyway, congratulations to the studio. I mean, to the radio station. Job well done. I have with me. He's not the newest pastor anymore. You're not. You are not the newest pastor. Who's the newest pastor in the city now?
That'd be Thomas, Paul Thomas at Bethel AME.
Paul Thomas. I got a chance to quickly meet him the other day. Bring his mic up for me in my ear. I got a chance to quickly meet him the other day at Pastor Stenhouse's. You were there. You were there. And then I get a call from Dion Watkins in Connecticut, who must know him.
That's right.
And said, hey, I really want you all to connect and get together. So I'm going to make sure that happens. By the way, Deion Watkins is moving, if you haven't heard, from Connecticut to Alabama.
Huntsville.
Wow.
Alabama. Now, I've been to Alabama once.
No desire.
Wait a minute, I might be mixing it up. I have either been to Alabama or Mississippi. No, I've been to Alabama.
Godspeed.
Nice place. Did I go to Mississippi? Who did I go to Mississippi for? Markeith. And then I went to Alabama for, I think, the Swains.
That makes sense.
Alabama. It's nice.
It's a nice place.
It's different.
It's a nice
But you
place.
got to follow God's call, whether it takes you to Alabama or Alaska or California.
He said, "Follow God's."
You got to follow it. If the Lord said,
I will follow him.
go to Alabama, I would talk to him first. That's like everybody. Why didn't you run for mayor? Because the Lord ain't say it. Look, you can't do stuff that you ain't hear from God. I've never heard from God on that. Pastor, tell him who you are. The church that you pastor, although you're not here in that capacity.
Yes, indeed. Reverend Julian Cook, the pastor of Macedonia Baptist Church here in Buffalo, but also the dean and director of Houghton College, Buffalo East Side, and that's the capacity that I'm visiting today. The bishop.
You are here
great
to
bishop.
tell us about something that can help people
Absolutely.
at Houghton. Talk to us about it.
Yes, so as you know, and you've been one of our champions since the start of this program, we have started a college program right on the east side of Buffalo, right at King Urban Life Center.
Yep.
938 Genesee Street. You can come. It is a debt-free model of education.
Yep.
Where you can come.
Which means you don't have to pay
That's
if
right.
you qualify.
There you do not have to pay if you
Yes.
qualify. The vast majority of our students are from Buffalo Public Schools and from other areas here in the city.
Yep.
They qualify and they receive their books. We have a number of incentives. Not only
Wow.
is the tuition incredibly low and or free for
Yep.
many of our students, your books are paid for, your computer is provided, and your bus pass. So you don't have to worry about how you're going to complete the work, how you'll access the work, or how you'll get to school every day.
Wow.
We are, through a partnership with the Oshai Foundation here in Buffalo, we've been able to do that. And so I just want to thank you
Incredible.
for embracing us. And what we need now is for students to come. And there are no age requirements. My youngest student is 17. My oldest student is 62.
Wow.
I have two folks coming in this year, two pairs coming in this year, a mother and a son who are going to earn their
How
degree
cool.
together, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And a daughter and a mother who are going to try to earn their degree together.
Wow.
And they're going to be very successful. This is the type of stuff we need in our community. We need people who are prepared, right? COVID has shaken things up. There's
Yep.
no doubt about that. The workforce has been shaken. Why don't we see this as an opportunity, right,
Mm-hmm.
to engage and to get involved in the community, but also to better ourselves?
Yep.
Because the opportunities will go to those who are prepared.
Amen.
So if I know we complain sometimes. I know that there's a lot going on in the world that would discourage us, but this is a ray of hope in the community, and so we need folks who are interested to take advantage.
What is the degree?
Yes. So we have, when I first came to you, we only offered one Associate of Arts degree, and that was for general studies, generally what you take your first 2 years of college. Now we offer 10 different majors from this site.
At the site?
At one site, we offer 10 different majors. So we offer majors in criminal justice, psychology, Christian ministry, right? So when you are called to preach, as you were
Yes,
just talking
yes.
about, you're also prepared to preach.
Yeah.
So we offer degrees in Christian ministry. We offer degrees, as I say, in criminal justice, psychology, communication, business administration, and music industry.
Wow.
So
Tell me about music industry.
So yes, Houghton College, as you know, has an actual music, is unique. It has a music industry department. So there is a conservatory, a school of music. I'm actually a graduate of the School of Music at Houghton College, where you can study the classics and all of that wonderful stuff. But they also have a music industry major where you're able to go there and study engineering, sound engineering, but also business. How do you work in the
At
music
that
business?
location.
You can do that at this location through a
And not
hybrid
have to
model.
go through-
And not have to go 60 miles from here to the main campus. You've got everything available to you right at 938 Genesee Street in the heart of the city.
Ina Javette Ferguson says, yes, thank you, Reverend Julian.
And she just applied to our program.
Wow.
So it's good to I remember students' names. That's how much of a family we are. She just applied to our program. And
Wow.
I meet with her next week, so she'll be there to get her information.
How do people get information? What's the website?
Yes, you go right to www.houghton.edu, and Houghton, I want to spell that for those who may not know, HOUGHTON.edu. You look for the East Side program. Now, there are several extension sites, but you want to look for East Side. The East Side program, fill out our online application. If you don't want to write the essay, which is only 2 paragraphs about why you want to be in the program, but perhaps that's not what you want to do, you can type right in that dialogue box that you want to interview with me.
Okay.
And we'll make sure to take it from there. So
Wow.
this is an opportunity for the community.
That is huge, because you're right. When we first met, it was just which is nothing wrong with it because it's a start.
That's right.
Just the Associates of Arts, and now to have 10 programs.
10.
What's the percentage of people who are receiving some financial aid or free?
96%.
No excuse.
No excuse. About 96% of our students are there completely free of charge.
Do you all consider SATs? Do they have to take
We
the
do
SATs?
not. We do
or
not require SATs, and there is no application fee. So no standardized test and no application fee. All you have to do is take the opportunity and see, try. There's no cost for trying.
It would seem to me you wouldn't even have to be on this show, that people would be kind of breaking down the doors to get in this program.
It's been difficult. I mean, I think a lot of people are not sure because of COVID what exactly they want to do with their lives, but I want them to understand that getting a degree is an opportunity to figure that out, right? It's not something that you say, I'm not going to do anything until I understand what I want to do. No, come see, get access to the education and the resources that we have. We have career counselors, success coaches, tutors. So say you've been away from school for a while and you're like, I don't know, this new math, right? Everybody talking about new math.
New math, yes.
I don't know if I can do that. We are able to help you to do that. Like I said, my youngest student is 17, my oldest student is 62.
That's unbelievable. And what about people who have already, for instance, they already have a degree, but they want a degree in something else?
Yes, this is
You
another
take
great
other
opportunity.
credits?
We do. We'll take your credits. Say you started somewhere else and now you want to complete that. We will take your credits. As long as you can get me a transcript, we will consider those credits. Absolutely.
Wow, this is incredible, folks. Give them the website one more time, because this is so important.
I'm going to give them the website, and I'm going to give them my phone number where they can call me. So the website is www.houghton, which is HOUGHTON.edu, and you will look on that scrolling icon there. You'll want to look for East Side. You can also phone me at 773-726-1524. Ask for Dean Cook, and we'll be ready to assist you.
So Duncan must be your hype man.
Duncan is my hype man. I don't do anything without Duncan. You know what I mean? He's kind of like the Holy Ghost. He helps me out. That's my comforter. He helps me out.
And brings all things to your remembrance.
Yeah, that's right. He brings it to my remembrance.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. And I know you're coming to the church, and I'm sure you're available to any other church who may want to host you, put up a table, get your people in college. I hope you're here within the next 3 weeks.
True Bethel's been outstanding. We've done instant admit with you, and I mean, we've been able to really work with your students. Some of our star students have come from True Bethel, so I'm waiting for some other churches to open
Pastors
up.
out
We'll
there,
do it. We'll come out.
Or members, let your pastors know. Houghton is willing to come out. For 96% of the people, they get helped in some way, and some of them are free. Absolutely. Books, computer. Education.
Yes, and your bus pass.
Oh, shucks.
That's right.
I'm going to Houghton. Thanks, man. I appreciate
I was thinking, me too.
I told him I'm letting him go because it's about to get thick in here. I ain't getting you in this. Dean. We're going to let the dean go. Y'all heard it here. Houghton College. Get it. Tuesday.
Yeah.
Was it Tuesday night? Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up, I ain't dragging it out. We did not have the opportunity because we did the remote last week. Tuesday, I was watching TV, and there was an election. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Well, he sounded like church when he was talking. You heard the thing?
He was preaching.
And you get a computer. And not only do you get a computer,
He can bust out the hoop triggers again.
you get a book. Everybody's welcome. From 17 to 62. Y'all don't hear
Triggers is
me.
on his phone.
Holding. Anyway. So yeah, things. I want to talk about what you think. I mean, I know what happened. Um, where some say it was low voter turnout, it actually was probably average for a primary. When people did the research, Buffalo News did the research, it was the average amount for a primary. You always welcome to sit, Rev, over here. You ain't got to talk, but you always welcome to hang out now. We're going to keep him behind camera. I ain't trying to mess up no Dean. You know what I mean? He here in the capacity of Houghton. So people asked me, and of course, my first public comments came probably the next day, but today's paper kind of summarizes where I stand on the issue. People said, "You okay?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, am I okay?" Folks, let me tell you my job in this community and in my life. If you have noticed how I've conducted myself over the last 10 years of being elected, over when I was on the council, as being the president of the council, I was voted president, and the first people who suggested I be president were people who were not in my corner before I got to the council, and really when I got to the council. I beat their candidate, some of them who supported someone else. I won. You all elected me. When I got to the council, and this is what I want people to understand, there's a difference between politics and governance. When I finished my campaign and I got to the council, I did not keep campaigning.
Tell the story.
It was over. I treated everybody on that council with respect. And over the last 6 years of being the president of this council, I treat everybody with respect.
Absolutely.
My job as a man who believes in God is to not cause war and division, but try to bring peace. Now, hear me, y'all. Our community is split over a lot of stuff. And right now, the front runners that are known because we now have Councilmember Fioletto possibly doing a write-in. Giambra has stepped out. India Walton, who won the Democratic primary. She won. Mm-hmm. And Mayor Brown, who is mounting a write-in. Let's talk about what they have in common. They're African Americans. At the end of the day, my job is to ensure that politics do not break up this community, or at least try, to the point that we're fighting like the boys in the street. I ain't breaking up True Bethel for it, because I have people who sit in True Bethel every Sunday who are, some of them are Democratic socialists, and they have every right to be. Some of them are Republican, and they have every right to be. Some of them lean to the left, and some lean to the right, and they have every right. That's what our forefathers died for, forefathers and mothers. But I don't believe that they died so that we could further divide our community. At the end of the day, we don't have to agree. But I urge the candidates to make sure we are on the issues, because tearing apart persons, that ain't gonna get it no more. People want to know, what do you stand for? And we can take this, we can do all this fighting, and then when everybody's bloodied up and everybody's beat up, our community will still suffer.
Absolutely.
Make a choice. When you go into that, you take that little piece of paper, that's your choice. But to tear up our community and to tear each other down because of a choice you make, that is really, and I'll say it biblically, that's what the enemy wants. He wants us to this battle and this war, it's going to be a long 4 months, trust me. He wants it to leave us so divided that we never come back together in modern times. We've seen it over and over. So make sure we separate politics from governance. I appeared today with the mayor because it's governance. It's governance. I still got to run. We still got to run the town. We still have to produce for the people. But will I admit that who is the Democratic, the people who voted me in, and this is what people have to understand, the people who put me in office made a decision of who they wanted to be the Democratic candidate for mayor. I can't, what you want me to do about that? They made a decision. So people say, well, because people didn't come out to vote. They made a decision too.
86,000 people still voted.
Right. You made a decision. And at the end of the day, that decision is there. I support the process. Now, I'm going to be transparent as I can be, and y'all can replay it and do whatever you want to with it. I have worked with the mayor just like today. The amnesty, that's great. I've worked with the mayor all 10 years. We don't always agree, and I'm nobody's rubber stamp. What are you doing here? It's your day off. She just walked in the door. Go back and pop some firecrackers.
What?
Oh, shoot.
I've worked with the mayor, but I've also worked with India.
Yes.
Fruit Belt Land Trust. I was able to produce. We worked together on parking. Now, where some people are saying, and this isn't, I want to be clear, I'm just talking about here are the issues. Separate the people from the politics.
You've always said that.
That's how I feel.
Fight the issue, not the person. Always said it.
So I think, and I said in today's paper that I'm prepared to work with whoever is on the second floor, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, no one person that goes into office is going to be able to do things without a process. They still, all of us come to public office with these dreams like this. I'm going to change the world. And then when we get there and we figure out I got to work with people to make even change my block.
Yep.
It's a learning curve. So, so many people say, well, she says she's coming after council. I said, I remember being very excited when different things happened in my life. Then you look back like, oh, yeah, well, okay.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's a nice thought.
I ain't think, folks, at the end of the day, here's my greatest concern. It is about our community when this is over, and that those who are running do not create a bloodbath in our community. Ina says, speak on it, my friend. Kimberly Beatty for sheriff. Absolutely. She won. And then, and I'll say this because Brian Gould did step off of the other line he was on, and I'm glad. So we got Kim. The Democratic ticket is ready and prepared. And again, this is not an endorsement for anyone. I'm simply, my greatest concern is that you go out and vote, and you vote for who you choose, because I think I'm afraid that we will bludgeon up each other. And at the end of the day, whoever is in the second floor office on January 1st, they have to work with the Common Council. There are checks and balances, and the Common Council has to work with them. Mm-hmm. And it has to be for what's best for our people and not what's best for our careers. I've been plain about that when people say, well, what you going to do next? And I don't have any next. Right. What I'm going to do next is wake up in the morning. And I don't think some people will never believe that. I think that they think, oh, he wants to do this next. I want to wake up in the morning and hear from God and do whatever it is that I do. Sheila Taylor said it's teamwork. You need to work together. Yeah, okay. Myra Robinson Moses says, and I want to see your comments. The people have spoken, and I said that from day one. The people have spoken, and it's the same. You know, when you look at certain districts, you know, Ellicott, they spoke loud on what they wanted. And so now it's not my job to go against what the people want. That's what they said. If you didn't vote, you can't complain. Yeah. It is so wild how many people are like, you ain't vote.
Well, I think the wildest question is when we get asked, well, what are y'all going to do on the council?
What are we going to do? Like what?
As Lady P said yesterday, why is all this French being spoken now in Buffalo?
Yeah.
What is
we? What is we?
But I think a lot of people that are upset, they couldn't vote because they don't live here. So I think
I think
a lot of the what are we gonna do? It's what are we gonna do financially? What are y'all gonna do to help us financially, even though we don't live here?
That's true.
And
No
again,
shade.
I agree. I mean, I think that, and I said this to a businessman because they were like, "Well, she's saying she's going to do this." Folks, what did I say day one? Money is not leaving Buffalo.
No.
Any developer that is making money is going to continue developing, especially if they don't need anything from government.
And that's the ones.
They go out and they buy private property. You can't stop. I need people to understand something. You can't stop me from buying private property. Yep. We ain't talking about city property because obviously I am a proponent that if you want to buy city property and you're going to build housing, it has to have an affordable component. Have we not been consistent on that?
Since I've worked with you.
Since you work with me, why is the Fruit Belt right now under a moratorium? Because Darius Pridgen said hegs no, and the council agreed with me and the administration, and I didn't want to see developers come through the Fruit Belt and buy up everything. Why did Macaulay Garden, I'm just going there, get sold to UB so that UB could put housing there? Because I ran on the platform that said we need affordable housing in downtown Buffalo, and we did not get rid of it.
Wow.
State facts.
Come on now, go get the receipts.
Wow.
At the end of the day, developers who want to make money, they're going to make money. And folks, that's not a horrible thing. You don't want to make a city into, a place where there is no tax base.
You don't want a kibbutz.
Right. Right. Exactly. We need taxes, and if they're not paying them, we're gonna have to pay them. I'm gonna tell you. So that all of this back and forth. Here's my point. Let's not kill each other. I'm gonna be. Here's where I'm okay with. Love you. There's a process. Process is done. Now y'all go out and vote in November. Janique says these contracts and money are being questioned now. Those contracts and money. I wonder which contracts. Come on, Janique. You know you got to give me more than that. Which contracts and money? Please tell me. Speak on it, my friend. Want to connect with New York Charter? Yep. All right. Do I have anything else on that? Do you all, as we say in church, all minds clear? Anybody, you got anybody have anything else to say about the election before we move on to talk about Kevin Samuels? How you gonna talk about Kevin Samuels? Look at
because it's our show.
Look at the dean. Look at the dean. He grabbed that bag.
Grab my things.
Let's go, Ryan. What's our saying?
Ryan,
get your things. I just had to get that out there because whoever you vote for, whatever let's stick to the issues and not crushing people.
Oh, we're gonna watch.
Huh? You what?
We're gonna watch him.
You gonna watch who? Mark?
No.
Oh, okay. So if you haven't heard of this guy, Kevin Samuels, get ready. So this guy is on, anyone who's doing business with the city. Who's questioning him now, Janique?
I think she's saying the people who are the business sector.
Yeah.
They're questioning those contracts, like all of that. Like they don't know. They're not certain. The things that they may have been guaranteed to them in 2 years.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Excuse me. Kevin Samuels, YouTube, I guess I shouldn't call him a phenomenon, exploding all over YouTube with his thoughts on relationships and women. very controversial. Mark, you seen them?
Hold on, because I'm sharing mic duties with the. I watched In Depth for the first time last night.
Okay.
And
What's your thoughts about it? Because we're going to play some of him.
Yes.
So everybody stand by. We're going to play some of what we were able. So basically this guy, what's your thought?
Some things I actually could agree with.
Uh-huh.
I think sometimes it's just the manner in which he says it.
Okay.
Because there was one point, I think, that's one of the clips I used, I kind of agree with, but it got a little, the content was right. The context was hard.
It's the difference of saying, "Oh, you know what? I like the blue dress," instead of
Right.
saying, "Do you know how ugly you look? Just
Right.
ugh, everything about you is worthless. Go throw yourself in the trash." That's that is how he does it, and I do not enjoy him. So this is gonna be
Okay, so you found, Mark was able to find a couple of clips without curse words in it.
Yeah, this is the quick hitter one we'll hit first. Now tell me if you want to pause between each
Okay,
quick
now
hitter.
this is Kevin Samuels. He gives advice mostly to women on how to, what he says is, find a high value man. So a man who's about his business. He has his own description on it, which I don't agree with. I don't agree that a high value man is a 6-figure man. There are high value men who make $20,000.
That's actually one of the clips. He talks about which women will find.
Okay, so here it is, and we give credit to, this is his YouTube channel.
All YouTubes and all these clips were from YouTube.
From his YouTube channel. We don't own any of the rights. Here we go. Kevin Samuels.
Intellectual brother, ambitious, family.
That's all right.
I am 5'5".
You know what's coming next. Dress size?
I wear 22.
All right.
Yeah, I'm juicy. I already know that.
That's not the word I would use.
Okay, so that's one of them. You can bring up my mic. Okay, so that was him with a woman, and he asked her size, and she says, I'm a 22. And she says, I'm juicy. And he says, that's not the word I would use. That was the entire clip on that. So he talks a lot about women and their size. So I'll give my personal opinion. I think that's rude. I think, and I'll put it to you this way. I remember when I was young, and I said something about somebody I was dating or something in their size, and I say it to a friend of mine, and he says, what if she said, well, where's your muscles? I just shut right up. Because, and we're having this conversation because a lot of women and men are listening to Kevin Samuels, mostly men probably. Women also, too, because they want to be on the show more and more to kind of shut them down. But I think that we have to deal with that when we talk about a woman's weight. I think that that's very dangerous. Mm-hmm. But some men have a preference. Absolutely. Some men like, as she said, she said juicy. Some men like I'm getting all messed up in here trying to tiptoe.
So
I really am.
The word on the street is thick. So some like them
Thick.
Absolutely.
thick.
But I think his approach of kind of shaming a woman who is thicker is dangerous for all women and all relationships.
It's body shaming.
It is definitely body shaming, and it puts the entire relationship on the body of a woman, but the man is not required to do the same.
Right.
Like a man with his stomach hanging over his belt can look at a woman and go, oh, she's fat, and it's nothing.
Right.
If a woman says back to a man, "You're fat," it's like, well, you take it or leave it. What do you think about his stance
I
on?
think he feels like I think he feels that if a man has money, then he should be able to go into the garden and pick what he wants and smell it, throw it away, and then pick another thing that he wants, and he can be picky. And everybody, a human's preference is a human's preference. But I think society does not allow women to do the same thing. We are just expected to be in that garden and to fit the imagination of whatever this man feels. And then if you don't, you think you're worthless. And I think this perpetuates that.
Is there is there a woman who's like a Kevin Samuels when it comes to men?
I don't think so, but I don't enjoy watching him. It really brings my vibe down. Not even because I feel like it's things about me. It's the way that he he directly talks to them. I don't like his tone.
So why do you think he's so popular right now then?
Because women want to know, what can I do to get a man? And men are feeling this. Like, I'm not saying I think he's so popular because men are in droves supporting him, because some of the things he says, men feel like they can't say. And so that's their secret place. He is a man's man cave to say what he wants to say what they want to say.
I couldn't play because I couldn't play the one where he actually went after a man because it was just vulgar and full of profanity. But I've seen a couple where he went hard on men, like, well, you're 5'5", 280 pounds. What woman would want you at almost 300 pounds and you're super fat? And I was like, oh.
And I've never seen those.
Yeah.
Are relationships now more superficial?
Absolutely.
Do you think it's more than before?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of social media, and you have to prove. Like,
That
I think the
filter game is
best
crazy.
relationships are the ones that aren't posted all the time. Like,
Wow.
we have a great time,
Yeah.
and we're off the internet a lot of time. Now, when it's now, not all relationships that post are superficial.
Right,
In
right.
the beginning of our relationship
We
and our
were.
social media, we were just so excited because we spent 4 years completely silent.
Right, right.
So we were just excited to be okay,
Right,
to be
right.
able to post. After that, we just live.
Yeah.
And people, we have pictures posted of us from other people, and sometimes we post, but most of our life, our cooking,
Right.
we're just private, but we have a great time. I think that a lot of relationships, and especially if you're a young person and
Yeah.
you're looking at this, well, they don't post, or they're not following each other. Even
Yeah.
celebrities, when the blogs report on them, well, she unfollowed him and he blocked
Which
her.
I don't know how people have enough time to figure out who unfollows who and who's that.
But people, that's
wow.
their job. Like, social media people, this is their job. They get paid to go and look and who's following who and who's doing this. They're not posting anymore. They're not dressing alike anymore. I've had somebody comment on our body language and that we must not be good because
Us?
because and then they told someone, like,
Oh, yeah, I've
watch
had those
how they
comments. People
sit.
said that to me.
Yeah,
Wow.
watch how she's sitting with her body. And we had a great morning that morning. But still,
Help us. That's a,
but I'm just saying, we had a great morning, so maybe I was tired. But I have had people comment on the way we were sitting and that we must not have been vibing, or who's, like,
Wow.
everything is superficial. It's who's texting who's still friends with who,
Yeah.
who's still, and so it is. I think it's superficial.
Well, Nicole Internet says they can be superficial. She said the same thing. Social media is why. Sheila Taylor says, if men take his advice, I feel sorry for them. They must be insecure. Marcus Hill says, right. Keep your relationship at a minimum on social media. Katrina Martin Bordeaux says, laughing my butt off. I never see, because I'm not into the social media stuff anymore. That's wild to me that they say, look at how they're sitting. So super, and I think another thing that makes it more superficial, because I've seen people that didn't have backsides, that they go away for a couple weeks and they come back,
This is true.
God.
and they got all kinds of new trunk pieces and
Right.
stuff like that. And I think now that you can buy body parts, that it is almost like, I'm gonna look like the Barbie I want to be, and
And maybe
so
that's why he's so hard. Because
Why?
Because you're not stuck with the body you have. You can be. There's a difference between being comfortable with the body you have and being stuck. I'm comfortable with the body I
jumping
have.
into another clip, but I was actually going to say, back on the social media, the filter game is crazy.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean like when people
Oh,
take
yeah.
pictures?
So now, like, you think you're getting this dime piece with this awesome filter, the hair is flowing right, the makeup looks flawless, and then you go to meet them, and you're like,
Watch yourself.
That's not who I saw. Like, can I get her back? Like, and so you start with the superficial right off the bat.
Now, I and we'll go to another clip with Kevin Samuels, but I think for the most part, I mean, you are attracted physically before you
Yes.
are
Absolutely.
lying
emotionally
if
and
you say
mental
that's
and
not
all that kind of stuff. But now I think it's like this race to remain in that. You know, I don't like you because of how you look or whatever. And I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm still learning on the job.
Absolutely.
Let's go to.
Not learning on the job.
Let's go.
What job? What you?
Let's go to the next clip of Kevin Samuels.
Maybe even older women, as to how to lock down a high value man. You know, you're getting 5,000 plus people watching you asking these questions. What would be one of the biggest takeaway tips you could give to women in the current dating marketplace to lock down a high value guy?
Stop. Because only 10% of you going to get it. I'm sorry. Look. Look.
Okay, so he says only 10% of women are going to get it?
Yes, only 10%. Stop looking for a high value man because only 10% of you are going to find one.
Is that because in his words of what a high or definition of what a high value man is, that it's only 10% out there?
Yes.
Huh, interesting. Okay. Now, I've heard him say things about weight. I've heard him say things about women with children, and that a high value man is not going to want to pay your child's college tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, legitimately, I believe, not that a high value man wouldn't, but I think that a man, especially if the child's father is in the picture, should participate in that.
Absolutely.
Agree?
I agree.
I don't agree. I mean, and since they watching our body language, I have been very blessed in the sense that when we got together and we have these two boys who call me Papa, but they call their dad, and who talks to them every day, and who, when he needs to participate financially, he does. That's not in every situation.
True. But we also had to grow into that.
Oh, absolutely.
But I do agree with, I don't like his delivery. And I think it's because as soon as he started mentioning women with kids, I was instantly triggered. I didn't care about nothing you had to say. Because, like, no, my value did not go down. Like, and that's your opinion. So whoever hurt you, seek help and then speak from a place of not hurt. Because he speaks, like, when he speaks, it's like, wow, like somebody really, whatever girl broke him down to his brake pads, he should heal from that. Because he is really, but I do
So you
agree
think
that
he's
women,
talking from a place of hurt, of being hurt by a woman in his life?
yeah, like I think that men who identify with them they're at just like women who agree with men bashers, and I can't watch that either. If I saw ever, whether it's tweeting or what, because it happens a lot, I don't like that either. Just move on and be peaceful. You don't have to down other humans. I don't like that. But with our situation, I do agree that the boy's dad is young, working age. I am young of working age. We brought them into the world. This is our responsibility. Now, when we get with other people, we can all share, but the primary responsibility are the people who made the children. It should be up to them. So
Right.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, if you've been in the child's life forever, it's nice that the child should benefit from every single parent. So maybe tuition is split 3 ways so that the child benefits the most. But I don't think that it should be on the back of the new dad or the covenant.
But when women and you and I talked about this the other night, we've had some really deep conversations. about when the boys, about how important it is how I treat the boys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I think that for many women who have a children, Lord have mercy. I'm going to Houghton. For many women who have children and enter into a new relationship, I think, this is me, I'm not Kevin Samuels, I think they value more how you're going to treat my children even before how you're going to treat me, more than what kind of money you have.
A good mother.
Okay.
I completely agree.
Okay, what do you mean? So
I mean, because there are women who I've seen, whether it's TV or, whatever, and they'll date a guy and they have everything, and this guy will give them all types of bags and cars and all that, and then their kids are with their mother and they're snotty nosed and they may have to forget about their child, or they just leave them, it's like, this my man. And I don't want him to feel uncomfortable, or I don't want him. And so the baby's kind of always babysat, or, getting the leftovers, and the mom is getting everything for herself. For me, I'd rather, I fell in love with him more because of how he was with the boys, and how him and the boys' relationship is what made me be like, oh my gosh, I love him.
No.
That's how, yeah. Not the whole thing. That's one of the things. That's not it. That's not all. I'm just saying that was a big factor.
Nicole answered that, said he speaks so harsh and so angry. It's like, sir, you need a hug or something.
He's angry. He is hurting.
Is that the last clip you have?
No, I gotta.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's roll. Let's roll. This is Kevin Samuels. If you haven't heard him, while we're getting the clip prepared, he's I guess he calls himself a relationship coach. I'm not sure. When I first saw him, I wasn't searching him out. Of course, now he's all over social media, and there were some things, and I agree with you what you said about it's a place where men hide, because there's some things that you're not going in and say blah 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 blah. So you're like, Kevin Samuels. Here we go.
What's your disagreement?
My disagreement is just basically about the fact that black women shouldn't have to feel obligated to smile to black men. We're holding a lot of trauma. We're holding a lot of problems. Mental health issues.
Hold on. How old are you?
24.
I'm gonna say this one more time. I need you to pay attention. I need all black women to pay attention. The world does not owe you understanding or me understanding. If you have all this trauma, go seek professional help, because the rest of us do not have to suffer you.
Okay, it's easy to tell black women and black people
Do you not
in the black community to get help,
whose responsibility is it to get the help they need?
but it's not available.
Okay.
That's the end of that portion.
So,
I had to cut it before he cuts.
okay. So let me say what, in case it was a little blurry on the radio. She basically says this woman is telling him that, I think they were talking about smiling or something. And he's saying, you need to smile. And she was like, well, black women are carrying so much hurt, carrying so much pain. He says it's not men's responsibility to suffer you because you've been through something. Go get some help. What do you think about that?
I completely agree with him, surprisingly, on this whole thing.
See, that's what I was saying. There's one I agree, but the delivery was bad.
But so I smile at everybody, like, and I've had people say, well, why are you so happy? What's wrong with you? So I think it's weird when people are just so mad. I do agree. Seek help. Him too.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that no one owes you anything. Don't nobody got to be nice to you. Don't nobody have to care. No one has to care about your trauma. No one has to. If they do, God bless them. So I agree that, okay, men should not have to, or women. But I think women, a lot of, this is scary. So sometimes we think that you should know because you love, so if you love your mom, then we think, the old myth. If he loves his mother, he will love you. That is absolutely not true. But I think we think, well, if his mother, how could he look at me and not see all the pain that his mother went through? Not me, but I'm saying But with men,
Because that's what y'all are taught.
exactly, right? So then, but when men have trauma, they make us suffer through it too, just differently. They use their macho-ness. It's not like, oh, I'm broken. It's they're going to break you because they're broken and they haven't healed their trauma. So, in conclusion, everybody should, like, you don't, no one deserves to be hurt. Like, all that hurt people, like, no one deserves that.
Absolutely.
So, like, if you feel the need to hurt people, or I don't care what nobody, why don't you just get help? Him too.
Nicole Antoinette says, I don't disagree with him. I think it's his delivery. Janique says, what the, who is this guy? Nicole Antoinette says, I have a resting face, and usually nothing is wrong, but if something is wrong, seek help. I mean, on this one, I agree with him also. And I think that, but I agree for men and women.
Well, he talks about in the second portion, and because I don't know if we have time to get through it. So in the second portion, he kind of talks about, well, what about the trauma that men are facing?
Yeah.
And we're still required to get up, go to work, provide.
Now, see, that's where I agree.
Right.
Honestly, I agree. I think that it is believed that men have no trauma.
Right.
That just period. I mean, you're a guy, get over it, move on. And I
work.
think then, because men have been told that since we were little boys,
Yeah.
Stop crying. You a boy. Stop crying. So we have been taught to suppress every emotion except happiness. Just get over it. Go back in your room and play. And women then, and for many, especially in the black community, it is the woman who said that.
Yeah.
It is the woman who said,
Yeah.
get over it, grow up, you got to be the man now. All that kind of stuff. That's why I don't tell kids at funerals if a dad has passed, you the man now. No, you're not.
No. Be a boy.
You're the child. And it becomes the responsibility of other men that are connected in the food chain to kind of step in. But I do think, and it's really crazy I said that because I walked past the pamphlet we have out there, You Are Not Alone, and I said almost every show I want to deal a little bit with mental health, because at the end of the day, I do think that the same way I believe that it's mental health one of the biggest reasons we have shootings going on like crazy. But I also think relationships get so messed up many times because of unhealed past.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the failure to really deal with them. Now, transparency. We saw something the other day about telemedicine, and I was talking to Felicia Stanley, who is a mental health specialist yesterday. I would do telehealth, but I don't want my picture and my real name on it. But you should do it. But I'm being transparent that there are things that you probably need to talk about on a constant basis where you're dealing with your own emotions, because I agree with the man. You bring in this baggage into a new relationship, and it's like the other person is supposed to heal everything in the past. And we do utilize language. People do utilize language like, well, you know what I've been through. And it's almost like then that new situation, I can't do anything that's close to what you've been through, because then I trigger. We got a lot going on.
And that too, I think a lot of women and men too, but like you said, anything that's close to what broke me or what
Absolutely.
I feel broke, because we don't know, like, we don't really acknowledge what really, really broke us. It's always what's on the surface, the last thing that happened. And so we do get nervous.
I got so many people, and I got to get ready to go. Veronica Ivy says, TD Jake said, chew the meat, spit out the bones. Wow. Veronica Ivy says, there's a documentary called The Mask You Live In about males and their mental health. Might have to watch that. Ina says, yes, you're right, unhealed past. And finally, Sheila Taylor says, I didn't do that with my son. I told him, you are human too, with emotions. I'm afraid of a child that shows no emotions. Wow, that's pretty good.
Wow.
That's pretty good. Okay, that was a great segue. Let me pay the bills real quick. Hobson's the doctor of dry cleaner. She took a boatload of clothes.
I got stuff over there right now.
Yeah, I got a boatload over there. Her body language ain't say she wanted to take it.
So annoying.
Look at their body language. 874 East Delavan, Hobson's, the Doctor Dry Cleaning. In your hour of need, Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes. 3 locations to serve you. 347 Peckham, 2528 Bailey, and 1275 Sycamore. This week alone, they took care of Taylor family, Stroudmeyer family, the Curry family, and others. I'm almost out of time. I'm almost out of time. Talked about elections. Did I miss anything? Oh, folks, listen. Don't forget, our clothing pantry is open again on Wednesdays, and our food pantry is open again on Wednesdays and Fridays.
And once a month, they have the fresh food and vegetables.
Yeah, so listen, be a missionary. Drive up, get the food, distribute it if you don't need it to people who are really in need. We're getting ready to get our bus back on the road, get my food truck back on the road, get out here and help some folks. Don't forget about Houghton College. He said go to Houghton EDU?
Yes.
Houghton EDU. Folks, you may qualify for a free degree. Do not miss the opportunity for your free degree. Now, you want to kiss or something like on TV, like kissing? They be like, look, they fake it for the cameras. I gotta go. Did I miss anything? I've been off the chain lately. I really have. I don't know what's wrong with me.
We're having fun.
Huh?
We're having fun and people don't like it.
Yeah, I am. Like,
People hate it.
listen, after COVID and after laying in that bed and I'm alive, it ain't too much you can do to me at this point. It's just not. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like me. What
Should
happened?
be the most afraid of somebody who.
said the water amnesty program sounds like a socialist.
No, not somebody. Warren Galloway said that the water amnesty
Ryan?
program sounds like a socialist program.
I couldn't see
Here we go with these titles.
Get your things.
Get your things. Nicole says I'm weak, Bishop. I'm weak. I gotta go until next week. Power to the people. Tell me when.